And welcome into the Tyus Bowser Show. We are live at Skipjack's Crab Deck in Middle River. Would y'all make some noise? I am Glenn Clark. She is the NFL chick, Syreeta Hubbard. Rita, what's going on?
Good evening.
It's good to see you.
You mentioned Tyus being a good person, and so we have to expound on that. I like using nice words.
Can we introduce the man first? Can we do that?
Okay.
The star of the show.
The star of the show.
The host of the show.
The host of the show.
He is Mr. Tyus Bowser. Would you give it up for Tyus Bowser?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, can I talk now?
I do also need to say that Tyus Bowser Show is brought to you by Maryland Vascular Specialists and the all-new Ginsu Kamado Grill. Now, you may say anything you would like, Rita.
Okay, so Tyus is a great person, as Glenn has already said. So to expound on that, I just want to say, last week's show, we talked about dunks, panda dunks. And was that the first time you learned about panda dunks?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't know, they are the black and white low-top Nikes, right? And so we talked about getting a pair, and so Tyus bought Glenn a pair of Panda Dunks, y'all.
Yeah, man. Show everybody.
These are, I'm not kidding about this. These are the nicest things I've ever seen in my life.
He confirmed he asked me what his size was. We found out his size. He bought them in his size. So that just speaks volumes on the type of person that he is. It's awesome.
I don't have the words. Yo, I mean, my kids got me T-shirts that said "Best Dad" for my birthday, but this might. Don't tell them. Man. Like they won't hear this. Don't tell them. This is a better gift. Can we play a round of Inform a White Man? Can we play that round?
Oh, sure.
Right? Can we do that right now?
Yeah.
If I go out wearing these shoes,
okay.
Like, are people gonna think that I'm rich? Like,
no.
Are these like shoes that people just wear?
No, but let me tell you something. What you better not do is act like these just some regular Nikes.
No.
Because people start wearing them sneakers and they start they get dirty and you don't want to wipe them off. No, you take care of these.
Tyus, what are the appropriate circumstances for me to wear these pandas?
To a situation like this, so like more things like this every little day. Just go out and wear them, but you're not going out on the field and in the dirt or putting these going to the beach.
You gotta remember though, I've got a 7 and a 5-year-old. You have no idea how many situations in my life don't start that way.
Do not wear them dunks with them kids.
Don't do it. Don't do it because they won't look the same.
That's the problem. That's the issue.
Not look the same.
Dude, that is seriously one of the nicest things anybody could do. I am so blown away by that. You also brought a gift for Rita's mom too.
I did.
Tyus came in here like Santa Claus tonight, man. It was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah, but me and her, we was talking the last show, and she mentioned, trying to get a jersey from me. So I worked something out to try to get one for her. So she has it right now. I'll sign it after, but I got it.
So Miss Wanda is the real star of the show. She's the real star of the show.
Absolutely.
Tyus is a special guest who's going to join us tonight. Marlon Humphrey will be with us for segment number 2 of the show. If you're with us on 105.7 The Fan. All right, what do we say? What do we even say? Here's my feeling powerless when you can't do anything about it. We've talked about going through the injury. We've talked about the difficulty in not being out there. But when something like that is happening and you are forced to just watch it, can you describe the pain of something like that?
Not really, man. It's just seeing and helping these guys whenever they get on the field, or trying to be a voice to them while they're on the field, just letting them know what's coming around, what plays is coming up, just little things that they do, just trying to critique them in any little way. But other than that, man, it's just pain, trying to watch and not being able to be a part of it and helping the team win. So it was very tough seeing that happen.
There's a lot of youth on this team. So when you have a situation like that, obviously the fourth quarter, how do you talk to them to move forward from that? Because we know that, they tell you guys all the time, you gotta let it go. You can't keep those types of plays in your head. But, just the way and how that happened, I'm sure that's just not something that you can easily forget. So what's the advice that you give to the younger players? How do you move forward from that?
I know for me, coming from college, one of the main things my head coach always told me was to trust your training and always go back to your technique. So when things are going bad, when things are just not working out for you, you just can't get a stop or, whatever it is, always go back to your training and trust the guy beside you to do their job. But the number one thing is trust your training and do your job. And, we'll always figure out a way to get ourselves back on track.
It's the Tyus Bowser Show, 105.7 The Fan. Is there a moment where, like, everybody agrees, okay, this is done now? Like, is there a formal, we've watched it, we've gone through it, does somebody say something? Like, how does that, because it's easy for us to say, well, you burn the film after, but that's not how it works, right? Like, you guys have to get better. Mm-hmm. So is there a moment during the week, is there a part, on Tuesday, on Monday, whatever it is, where you guys say, all right, we've said everything we're going to say about this. Mm-hmm. It's you literally burn something. I don't know what it is. You officially move on from whatever happened the past week.
Well, that was around 3:30 today.
Okay.
When we said that.
So we can't talk about it now, is the way it goes.
I mean, for the sake of the show,
sounds a little bit
we
like
can talk
Fight
a little bit
Club.
about it.
Yeah.
But as a defense, as a team, around 3:30 when we finished watching the entire game, we said we're going to put this behind us and move forward to the Patriots. So, I mean, it was tough, looking at that film for an hour and a half and critiquing every little play. But like you said, it's needed. It's needed for everybody to see this and go through this. But like Coach McDonald said, it's the second game of the season. And we have plenty more games to go, and we're not going to let this define the rest of the season. So that's our mindset moving forward, and now our focus is on the Patriots.
There's not, like, nobody gets fined if they bring it up after that, right?
No,
like if somebody's walking around, it's not like, all right, bro, you got to go do like 100 burpees or something.
No. This is a professional league. One thing about this league, man, in any situation, win, loss, draw, whatever it is, you got to move on to the next week because you have another opponent that's coming to embarrass you, regardless if you played a good game or not. They're going to come in and get ready to play. So that's our mindset moving forward.
Do you guys have the same type of process that fans do? And I can't say this is all fans, but this is my process, right? So Sunday, I allow myself to live in the emotions of it. Mm-hmm. Monday, I then turn to the logic of it, and then Tuesday, I say, okay, on to New England.
What part of that?
Is it the same process?
I have like 5 hours of eating my feelings in there. Do you go through that too, or?
We do go through that. We do. I know for Sunday it was tough, and then just during the team meeting with Coach Harbaugh, he just knew like that Monday coming off of it was just still raw. Just seeing it, It's on here right now. Look at it.
Oh, God.
No, let's not. Let's talk more. Talk more, look less.
But that's what we have to go through reality-wise, and just us going through that Monday and seeing that we just kind of use that day to get ourselves collected, get ourselves together, and then Tuesday coming together to figure out what went wrong, what we can do to improve and move forward. And that's what we did today, and now we can put our focus on the Patriots. So.
If you were to eat your feelings, the way that some people, would anybody else be willing to admit that they ate their feelings on Sunday? Can anybody else be? Thank you for being adult enough to admit that if you were to eat your feelings, what would be the go-to method for eating your feelings?
Did somebody say liquor? Somebody said drinking?
That's definitely not for me. But I know for me, one of the main things is kind of like just getting away, getting into my own space, maybe going down to the harbor, going down to D.C., and just kind of just recollecting myself, put on some good music, just walk around, National Harbor or, the National Mall in D.C. and just kind of get myself back in order. That's my thing. I don't know about drinking. I don't know about,
I mean, I definitely didn't eat an entire wheel of cheese. That didn't happen. What are you?
I'm sure that.
You did that. What are you talking about?
A whole wheel of cheese? What kind of cheese?
No, not a whole wheel, but. Okay, I feel like I'm being interrogated now. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm going to choose to move on.
It's okay, man. I understand. This was a very tough time for all of us.
It was a tough day, bro.
So any way that you can move past this, do it, and then figure out how to come back from it.
And then I want to apologize because Glenn and I do the Ravens post-game show on 105.7. It was very colorful. It was very colorful.
Very colorful. What you mean by
it was very colorful. It was very. I'm sorry. Let's just leave it there.
Just leave it there.
Rita chose laughter in the aftermath. We got to turn the other mic on because Marlon's about to walk in.
That was how I dealt with it. I dealt with it by laughing because I couldn't do the alternative of laughing is crying, and I wasn't gonna do that. So I just had to giggle. I giggled for like 3 segments straight. Yeah. Glenn is laughing because he knows it's true.
I'm thinking about it again.
Wow.
It was almost awkward. I thought I might be in the room with
it was very like if you didn't know me, you would think that I was a little crazy.
Like something's wrong with
yeah, absolutely.
Like I was a little bit worried that she might like we can't let her buy a gun. Like I was a little bit worried.
It was that bad, huh? Golly, I didn't know it was that bad.
It was raw, dude. Like it was raw.
Well, hopefully we don't have any of those games again to where she's feeling like that.
Thank you very
we don't want
much.
to see any other results coming from this.
I would like my sanity to be in place. Thank you.
I want that for you as well.
Thank you.
Let's get an update on you. Since the last time we talked, since the last show, we saw you out on the field doing some work.
Yeah.
How you been feeling? You feel still good, on track? Whatever it is that you're allowed to or supposed to say.
Hey, because we need you. Hey, friend, because we need you over there.
Nah, but I've been feeling good, man. Just being on the field, just getting back to the football mode again. It's been feeling good. A few other things I'm still working on, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at and what I've been able to do. So gradually just taking it day by day. And shoot, man, I feel like we're making the right progress to get me back on the field.
I'm not trying to say anything. The next show we're scheduled to do just happens to be week 5 of the season. Just weird. Just putting that out.
Yeah, that is weird.
Just happens to be week 5.
Yeah.
That's all. Just nothing. Not saying anything.
Yeah.
Just might coincide nicely if.
Well, hey, if you see me on the field, you see me on the field.
That's what That's what I'll take.
I'll just say that.
Before we wrap up this segment, you want to do an introduction of the man that's out here with you tonight?
Yeah, man. This is a Pro Bowler, all-pro guy. One of my draft brothers, and that man is number 44, Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, sorry I'm late. I had a financial call, so at least I was late for a good reason, somewhat. But happy to be here at Skipjack's Crab Deck, and
hell yeah,
ready to get the combos going.
We're gonna have you do all the commercials tonight. That's the way it's gonna go. Marlon, thank you for coming out. It's great to see you. Let me give the same before we take this break. I'm gonna give the same question to you because unfortunately you weren't out there for much of the fourth quarter on Sunday. The powerless feeling, like. Can you put that into words? Because Tyus was just telling us about how painful it is. Like you want to do something about it, you can't do anything about it.
I was out there for a good chunk of the game, but when it really kind of hit the fan, I was not, and it was it sucked. It was weird because I was more nervous watching than I ever am on the field. It was really weird, but I think I was just like. It didn't really even seem like it was real the way
everything just worked out.
It just worked out in a crazy way. And it sucked. But hopefully that's the last time, that happens with, different busts basically of everyone looking like what just happened. So hopefully that's the last time, but hopefully it's for sure the last time. I'm watching, and pretty soon Tyus is ever watching the Ravens play.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Are you guys able to say, if we just get back out there, we're not worried about this? Mm-hmm. Like, it sucks what happened, but, Marlon, we saw the numbers today. When you were on the field on Sunday, there was not a problem. Tyus, the pass rush is a lot better if you get back out on the field. Can you take it that way? Can you look at it and say, hey, this sucks, but when we get back out there, everything will be all right? Tyus, I'll start with you.
One thing for sure is I'm confident in the guys that's on the field, regardless of if I'm on there or not. With DeCosta, with Coach Harbs, we had the right guys on the field to make, those plays to win the game. And you've seen it from the first half. That's the same exact group that we had, with me not being out there. So I'm confident in those guys to be able to go out there and take care of business and we come out with a win. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And I mean, me just being confident, I know that in certain ways I can maybe alter, a few other things within, what happened in the game. But for the most part, whatever happened, man, it is what it is. I'm still confident in our team and who we have on the field, and we're going to continue to win games for this franchise. So.
Marlon, what about you?
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of echoing what Ty said. I think I'm pretty confident in whoever's out there, but for sure you just kind of can't have those, mental lapses there, and just got to stay together. But after we watch the film, we watch it players separate, then we watch it on the off day, players, then we watched it today as a defense. It was just crazy how simple it was. Yeah. Like it wasn't like it was just like, bro. Like it was like, bro, that literally that just cannot it just cannot happen. And it's crazy. Like I don't think that's ever since I've been here like something so simple like happened. So those things I know for sure will be the last things like that happen. And I just can't wait to get back. I can't wait for Sunday, honestly. Yeah.
How quiet is it when you have to watch it collectively as a group? Because it's one thing like when you can do it by yourself, right? But then to watch it with other people, and then a lot of it is just about, like you said earlier, mental breakdown. So then you're watching your teammates, you watching how it all happened, and it's like, do you peek over at somebody when you see something like, hey man, that was you?
I mean, for me, I feel like with watching film today, it was just the little details, like him saying, it's like, yo, are you serious? Like, we've been working on this all training camp.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just the little detailed things that we have to get figured out, and that's understandable with us being in the second game of the season. We're still trying to figure out who we are as a team, as a defense, and we're going to make mistakes along the way. We have a lot of young guys, like you mentioned, on the field, and it's just part of the growth, and that's the enjoyment of, this being the second game and not the 13th, 14th
Absolutely.
game where this could actually determine how we move into the playoff. So from that, we just learn in that aspect, and we take that with a grain of salt and keep it moving.
All right, then we're going to move on from it too. That's how we're going to handle it. We covered it. Everybody good? We good? Can we move on from it? All right, we're going to do that.
On to New England.
On to New England. On to New England.
Today's show brought to you by Maryland Vascular Specialists. Their team of surgeons is Maryland's leaders in ethical arterial procedures. We are out at Skipjack's Crab Deck in Middle River. We come back in. Tyus, we have to talk to Marlon about some of the things that he said over the years on Twitter. We're going to, you all right? Can we address? I don't know if you've ever been embarrassed by anything that Marlon said, food-wise, but we're going to address some of them.
We're going to
have to.
All
right, we're going to do that next. You are listening to the Tyus Bowser Show. Welcome back in for segment number 2 of the Tyus Bowser Show on 105.7 The Fan. We are at Skipjack's Crab Deck in Middle River. Rita and Glenn.
Glenn and Rita.
And
I did it right this time.
You got it. Tyus Bowser is here alongside Marlon Humphrey, his special guest. Today's show also brought to you by the all-new Ginsu Kamado Grill. Reserve your Ginsu Kamado Grill, the perfect ceramic tailgate or home grill for searing, grilling, baking, and smoking all kinds of food. Get $100 off on your pre-order by using the promo code TAILGATE right now. And if you are here with us at Skipjack's, we are giving away a Ginsu Kamado Grill. Come see the very handsome John Colson with his sunglasses right there, and we will get you registered to win a Ginsu Kamado Grill and $500 worth of grilling meat, which seems pretty good. Yeah, Tyus wants to sign up.
Yeah, I need to sign up for that.
Tyus is right. So that's a fairly decent set. You know what? Before we do this, Marlon, you said I can't wait for Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
Should we read that demeaning? You feel like you're good to go? That
I'll be good to go. I'll be good to go.
All right. That's what I guess we should have said something then, but I'm glad we got that clarified. All right. So that leads us to a segue. Marlon, you have become a man known as much for food as football in this city.
Now, and remember, we had Marlon come on the radio show in the summer, and we had him explain it. But obviously, we need some new answers. No. We need new answers.
Yes.
Tyus, you're not the most active person on social media.
Yeah, I'm not too active.
Do you ever see anything like when you?
Yeah, I do. I see a few things.
Do you ever roll your eyes at anything that you see?
I roll my eyes a lot.
Yeah.
I roll my eyes a lot with a few things I be seeing. Like, are you serious?
Anything in particular that you remember that Marlon's tweeted about over the years? Chick-fil-A? Anything
it's too much to even like remember right now. But it was one. I forgot what it was.
It wasn't the mac and cheese. It wasn't the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, of course that one. But it was another one. He was saying something, but I forgot what it was. But it just had me like, are you serious? Is it really what he just said?
My tweets about food are just, other people are thinking them. They just don't want to say them all the time.
Yeah, I'm not thinking them.
And I'm a very, my palate comes from one day I don't know how old I was, and I was like, I don't like coleslaw and I don't like potato salad. And then I started thinking to myself, I've never even had coleslaw or potato salad.
Oh my God.
So then I was like, I think as a person, as a human, we oftentimes just either eat something because everyone else is eating it, or like or don't like something because I just think I don't like it. So I have a very neutral palate to where I can see something like, ugh, that looks really nasty, but go into it with a positive feeling and let the palate tell me what's good and what's bad. And the palate tells me, out of all foods, the most overrated is cheese noodles. And
oh my God.
The obsession with it starts when you're a child. You get the little Kraft Mac, they got them in little SpongeBob, smiley faces, all that. And then it's absorbed from a child, and then it's just over. But me, I've broken through that. I've resisted the urge. My mom had all, I don't eat my mama mac and cheese. So it's like, I'm not falling for it. But one day people will realize, and when that day happens, man, it might be somebody said I'm leading the youth. I said, if I'm leading the youth, when I get to be 50, I'll see a whole generation of non-cheese noodle eaters.
No.
And I'll be very happy.
Well, you're going to be very disappointed in the next 50 years. I can tell you that. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, you hear him?
That's crazy.
You hear him right now.
Crazy, man.
The day that I realize what he is saying, I will be dead. Yeah. I'm telling you now, I will be rolling in my grave because I ain't giving up no mac and cheese for nobody.
I feel like you just had some very bad experiences.
No, I'm from the South. There's the
which makes it even crazier.
That's what I'm saying. That's the surprise.
It was always something I just ate, and I'm like, it doesn't really do it for me. You know what I mean? And then I realized, like, this just isn't it. Wow. And it was just a great day when I found that day.
So what are some other things that you think of?
We got to talk about Indian food.
Yeah, because
all right, guys. All right,
they gave you a run that day.
All right, okay, look. Guys, I can defend this, guys. My buddy, I have never had Indian food. Until that one day.
Hang on a second.
Until that one day.
Had you not had Indian food when you sent that tweet out?
No, I did. I had just had it. So my buddy hits me up, like, bro, there's this Indian spot in Owings Mills, actually. I'm like, okay, like, what does that mean? He's like, bro, we got to go eat there. And I am like, to the waiter, I'm like, yo, what's the best thing on this menu? I'm like, what's the best thing? Like, you just tell me, bring it out. That's how I usually eat. I just tell them, bring me out whatever's the best. And he brings out like 3 or 4 dishes, and they're all just, ugh. Like, I'm like, so I send that tweet out, and like sometimes I send a tweet out and get off Twitter. I like started getting text messages, and I'm like, wait, what did I even tweet? I don't even remember what I tweeted. And then I go on Twitter and I'm getting attacked. I'm like, whoa, this is the worst thing I've ever tweeted in my entire life. And that is when I realized Indian food obviously cannot be bad, and I have not had it since. But the things I was getting, I was like, whoa. I must have had the worst Indian spot in the world. So I have to retry Indian food, and that is one tweet, food take, I can resend.
Whoa.
That is about the only one, though. Probably the only one.
Whoa. Okay. You know, it's funny. This was on my list of things that I was going to ask tonight. Is there anything you've had to admit? There are. He
is not admitting it because he's had new Indian food. He's saying that it has to be good if people were going off on him the way that they did.
I've never received multiple text messages like, bro, you were wilding out on Twitter. You were tripping. Bro, what did you have? Bro, I'll come bring you Indian food right now. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I have not technically had a better Indian food, but I do believe that must have been the wrong tweet to say.
I wanted to go across the table and share if there's anything that you've said or an opinion you've had, food, unrelated to food, whatever it is. This actually came up for me this week. So I'll share mine first to let you guys think about it for a second.
Like an unpopular opinion?
No, that you realized you were wrong about.
Okay.
That you had to, and it was a very difficult thing to do because I have not publicly admitted. There's something I'm wrong about.
Yeah.
I am wrong that it is impossible to make something that isn't meat taste like meat. And I have said that time and time and time again, that I've tried all these burgers, Impossible, Beyond, I tried them all. And I say, dude, you can say whatever you want, they can be fine, but they don't taste like meat. I tried the Beyond Meat beef jerky this week. It tastes like beef jerky.
Wow.
It's beef jerky.
Okay.
I don't want to admit that. I don't want to go because I have tied myself to you can't do this. Yeah. It's impossible. Don't you?
What was it made out of?
I don't even know. I'll look. I have no idea what it's made out of. All I know.
Soybean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
That's what the Impossible meat is.
Yeah. It tastes like beef jerky. It's unbelievable. And I don't want to have to go to Twitter and say, yo, I screwed this up. Sorry. Like, I have to admit I'm wrong because, it's a pride thing. Do you have anything, Tyus? Whether it's food, unrelated to food, something that you've held as an opinion that you've realized later you were wrong about?
No. Everything I've said has been true, and I've lived by it, and I continue to live by it to this day.
Wow. Everything.
I ain't mad at that.
You've never second guessed, like maybe.
Not that I can think of.
All right.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm willing to say, hey, I messed this up, or hey, I'm wrong. Hey, whatever it is, I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong.
Sure.
But I can't think of
no
anything.
Opinion that you've tied yourself to.
No.
All right, fair enough.
I'm an overthinker, so I process a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
Marlon?
I can't think of anything, but based off how my mind works, I will tweet something and forgot I tweeted it in 5 minutes. So I'm sure there's something down the line that I have really said and stamped that I could probably take back. But as of now, one thing that I just thought in my own head that obviously, I don't know why I was thinking this, was a certain draft pick that I thought was going to be legit. I didn't think he was going to be Brady, but I thought he was going to be close to Brady.
Hey, so I think that was actually going to be mine.
Really?
And you don't have to say if I agree with you or not, but actually that was going to be mine. So I'll say it for you. Me being wrong about something was definitely about Josh Allen. I watched the dude in college. I thought he was erratic, all over the place, a hot mess. And I don't know if that's who you thought it was or it's not. Okay, well, cool. That was my point. I was like, I'm sorry. He got a great arm, but he's a mess. And then the first year, he kind of
was.
Confirmed my point. And then after that, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's not a hot mess. But literally, I was like, this dude got drafted like top 10 just because he's got an arm. That literally is it. I was like, this dude is all over the place. Erratic, just doing whatever he want to do. Like, didn't even play for, he played for Wyoming, right? Like, I was just like, come on, man. Y'all gotta miss me with that. And I was wrong. And I have come on record and admitted that I was wrong about Josh Allen. It's hard because I'm usually not wrong about quarterbacks, but I was wrong this time, so I had to admit that. I thought that that's where you were going with that, but I wanted to say it for you in case you could not say it.
Actually, I can't say it. I think I went on record on Twitter, actually, and someone was like, who's your favorite quarterback? And I was like, I think Baker Mayfield's going to be that guy. I think he's going to be Brady. I was like, he's got that winner mentality. He's got that dog in him. I'm like, I know we don't have the first pick, but I'm like, man, if we could get that guy. That was the same year we got Lamar, so very happy we got him.
Yes, worked out all right.
But, yeah, he's still sticking around, but I don't know. I just thought he was going to be that guy.
Wow.
And there could still be
I guess, yeah, it's not over yet, right?
It's not out.
You can still save that.
Prior to
Analyst Hump could still be saved in
I might go back in the archives if it happens, but yeah, I thought.
And look, 2 seasons ago, he was proving your point He was proving you. They trended up. I mean, they went to. That's the year that they went to Kansas City for the divisional round. So I can see where they had beat the Steelers 2 weeks in a row, really bad, by the way. I have to mention that. So I get it. I can understand that, but injuries happen, and he just kind of been all over the place.
It's all right. It's all right. Analyst Hump does much better with his college football picks, right?
Well, sometimes I get hacked. Sometimes I get hacked on Saturdays. Like this past Saturday when I said South Carolina.
You definitely said
Georgia.
that. You definitely said that.
People be having my Twitter account password. Sometimes people tweet for me, so I can't really. It depends on the Saturday, but you can get hacked on Twitter, man. There's a lot of bots.
Guys, this is why you stay off Twitter, right?
Exactly.
A lot of different things.
This is my point right here.
I'm never going to be able to call Tyus out for his terrible picks on Twitter.
I might do something like Marlon did and just start coming up with some different guesses and stuff.
Just make some guesses.
I might just do that.
It's not going to hurt you.
It's not going to hurt me.
He's doing fine, obviously.
I'm gonna get a few people that's going to come at me, but I think that's the fun part of it.
All right.
I like the engagement.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Grade 8's Memorabilia. They help make this show possible. Grade8smemorabilia.com. They've got a big event coming up next Monday night with Patrick Queen and Adafe Owe. You're going to want to be there for a public signing at Vintage Vinyl in Bel Air. It benefits the fight against children's cancer. You can find out more and get tickets right now. Grade 8's Memorabilia with the number 8, grade8smemorabilia.com. We also associate you, Marlon, with the punch.
Yes.
I'd love to know the backstory on the punch, but I'd also really love to know when maybe a punch went wrong.
Oh, man. Punch. Well, it really kind of started happening when I got bumped to play nickel. So I think I don't know what year it was, but Jimmy had to miss the first 4 games of the year. And so my coach comes to me and he's like, we want you to try to play inside. And I'm like, I never thought I'd play nickel in my career. I actually never thought I'd play nickel, period. So I'm like, I can, I don't really, I made a pact to myself in college that whatever a coach asks me to do, I'm just going to do, unless it's something like crazy outside of football. But when it's on the football field, I was just going to say yes. But so I moved inside, and I just was around the ball a lot more. Like outside, you're not really around the ball. You're mainly on the island. Yeah, so those were the 2 years when I had a lot of those punch outs. I was just around the ball so much. I was just able to use my aggressive play a lot more than what I could outside. And it works really well when I'm in there. But you have to have the depth. So, with Fuller going out, probably won't be in there too much just because, we just don't have the depth. But when this went wrong, man, I've had to start wearing the padded gloves like D lineman because these knuckles really start getting really – I feel I started taping up my thumbs. I'm like, I used to wonder, why is Tyus and all these dudes got all this tape on their arms and all this crap, and it hurts a lot.
It's starting to make a lot more sense. Huh?
Yeah, it starts making a lot more sense. Like, those trenches are not fun. Like, anytime I'll fall in the box, hit an old lineman, but I ain't really moving them nowhere. So it made my respect for the interior guys grow up a lot. Because I hate seeing guys take on double teams. It just hurt. It hurts my back. Yeah. Like, I see them just hold in with it's 300-pound guys, and it's just them dudes do some work that I don't really ever want to do, but I get a little taste of it when I get to be inside.
Well, Tyus, tell me about the decision. Like, when you've got somebody, when you're coming at him, when do you think about going for the ball versus I just need to get this dude on the ground?
It depends on who it is and the position you in. I just feel like I could just bring up the situation with Cleveland and with Njoku in that tackle there. It's like, in that position, you just want to get the guy down. With a guy like Derrick Henry, you just want to get this guy down because he's going to carry the ball strong and he's going to hold it tight. So in those situations, you just want to get that type of guy down. Now you have other guys who are more skilled, who like to move around and like to juke and stuff, like a OBJ or something like that. Now that's a guy who you want to try to punch at, different guys in that. So it just depends on the guy who you coming up against, to where it's either try to punch the ball out. And, of course, that all goes into film and watching film as well and seeing what guys are really vulnerable, what guys actually protect the ball well, and just go based off of that. So.
Marlon, you guys played the Dolphins. Obviously, you got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Everybody knows they are probably one of the fastest duos. Not only that, they're elusive. They were kind of slipping.
Although Rashad's pretty fast too, man.
No. Yeah, Rashad is definitely fast, and he had he was on Next Generation.
Yeah, the fastest speed we've seen. Yeah.
But as a defender, right? When you're playing guys like that, and you see that on film, what's the difference though in seeing it on film, but then you having to deal with that? Obviously, you played with Tyreek in the past because the Ravens have played the Chiefs when he was in Kansas City, but now you're in a situation. He's in Miami. We know that you played Jalen Waddle last year, but now you got both of those guys.
Yeah.
So in terms of how do you defend guys that are not only fast, but they can just move, slip and slide around through coverages like that?
So for guys like that, I mean, anytime you got to guard Tyreek, it's like it was crazy because we just watched film, and there was a couple times when it was like, this is the fastest guy in the NFL, and I felt like some of the guys were not treating him like the fastest guy in the NFL. I'm like, when I'm out there and I'm lined up in front of him, I'm like, this dude is the fastest guy in the NFL.
Easily.
I don't even think that is okay. The chances are, if he runs something short, okay. If he runs something that way, okay. But if he goes this way, I'm going to be ready to run with the fastest guy in the NFL.
Yep.
So that's always in my mind, guarding guys like that. And the biggest thing is I'm just trying to stay in front of him. I tried to reach out and jam him in the game. He actually went backwards, did a whole side move, and then went vertical. And I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to try to stay in front of him. I'm not really going to try to touch him. I'm just going to try to stay in front of him. So you just got to have a different mindset because they're fast, switchy, and they're really low to the ground. Mm-hmm. So that's a difference probably between you brought up Bateman. Bateman, I always knew Bateman could slide. So I wasn't surprised when he outran a top probably 10 corner in Xavier Howard, but he's just not short and small and getting up to speed immediately. So Tyreek and Jalen, they just get up to speed within no time. So that's the biggest difference. You just got to know that guy is that fast. So if you really keep that in the back of your head at all times.
Yes.
Well, it's not in the back of my head. It's in the front of my head when I'm guarding him. But if you ever think that he's not that, then he usually is running behind you for a touchdown. So that's the biggest thing. You just got to always remember that.
All right. It is the Tyus Bowser Show on 105.7 The Fan. It is also brought to you by Maryland Vascular Specialists. Their team of surgeons is Maryland's leaders in ethical arterial procedures. When we come back in, Ravens have a chance to do something on Sunday that they've never done before. We'll talk about that next. It's the Tyus Bowser Show. And back in here for segment number 3 of the Tyus Bowser Show. We are live at Skipjack's Crab Deck in Middle River. Would y'all please make some noise for Tyus Bowser, Marlon Humphrey one more time? Yep. Rita and Glenn with you on 105.7 The Fan.
Glenn and Rita on 105.7 The Fan.
Rita recommended to me, by the way, the rockfish bites here at Skipjack's Crab Deck.
Good.
Holy crap. I have had a lot of fried catfish. I got family in the South. I've had a lot of the catfish nuggets. You're like, yo, is that fish or is that chicken? That's what that is.
It's good.
Really?
Those rockfish bites are insane. Highly recommend.
With the sauce.
Yes.
Gotta do it with the sauce.
If you get out here, and I encourage you, it's a great place. They got the deck. They do trivia out there. Amazing place. Skipjack's Crab Deck in Middle River. Come check it out when you get the chance. You guys have a chance to make some Ravens history. I guess, Tyus, I'm sorry. You wouldn't.
I wouldn't be a part of it.
Yeah, I feel bad when I say that.
But you are. You're there in spirit, though.
I'm there in spirit.
You are.
Exactly
You are
right.
a part of it.
The Baltimore Ravens have never won a regular season game in Foxborough. Wow. Which is more an anomaly than anything else, right? Just because you guys don't play there all the time. You haven't. There was that rain game a couple years ago that was.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah. It was Cam, right? That was.
Or was that last year?
No, that was
No, it was
Cam.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was Cam, right? Mm-hmm. The Patriots, obviously, it's still Bill Belichick that we're talking about, right? Like, whatever else has changed, how do you, you can prepare for players, But is there a way to prepare for facing a coach, a wizard? Is there any way that you can get ready for that? Tyus, I'll start with you.
Is there a way? No, not really, because we're not playing a coach. We're playing a player. So I feel like that's a coach-on-coach type thing, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, special teams, just winning that battle. But for us, we're just playing the guys and whatever that they have planned for us. We're going to go out there and react. We're going to go out there and try to make plays. So that's how I kind of look at it.
Marlon, when you hear the name Bill Belichick, what comes to mind for you?
What comes to mind for me is just, he's like detailed. So I think of kind of Nick Saban-esque. And whatever weakness you have, he has seen it, and he's probably going to have something schemed up for you. So if he's anything like Saban, which I hear they're very similar, he's definitely very robotic. He does not play around. Saban is just, when he's in the building, he's just so business. You might tell him a joke and he will be not even understanding what you're even talking about. And then when he does make a joke, it's not funny.
Okay, wait a second. We heard a story a couple years ago about a particular type of joke that Nick Saban likes to make. D's.
Yeah, he's actually, I don't know who taught him that. I forget who taught him that. It might have been me, but I don't know who
Wait. No. You can't just blow right past that.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a chance that you taught, I don't know if we're allowed to say it on 105.7 The Fan, but whatever, we'll go with it and apologize later. You taught D's nuts jokes.
I said knees nuts.
Oh, sorry.
Around when I was there with the Lane Kiffin era at Alabama, and he took that joke for, he's probably still doing it now, but anytime he calls you, you're like, oh, you're always serious, and then he'd be like, D's, and you just be like, it actually is funny only because you said it, but it really was not funny.
I'm like, what? Wait, what?
So he's locked in. So anytime you're preparing for Bill Belichick, just legendary coach. He's going to have the players right, so you just got to bring your A game.
Speaking of Nick Saban, obviously we know you played for him, and then they did a whole story of how they're best friends, right? There was a documentary about it. I don't remember what it was called, but they're super close.
I didn't watch it though.
I didn't watch it either. I saw it. Do you?
This sounds like two people that didn't do the homework that are trying to do the report.
No,
now.
I'm just prefacing the fact that they are very close, right?
Yep.
Do you get to call Nick Saban and say, "Hey, I'm playing Bill Belichick. Can you give me some pointers?" And will he give it to you?
Saban had his favorite children.
Okay. Are you a Saban favorite?
I was not one of those.
Hey.
I was not one of those. He only had his favorites there was not many. I think he even got quoted one time. He's like, there's been 5 players I've really liked. I don't think he really meant to say that to the media, but he said that. Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of those guys. So I was the exact opposite of Minkah when I was at Bama. When it came to preparation and caring and all this, Minkah met with Saban personally and studied. I was out hanging out, partying a little bit. So Saban didn't really like me, but I was a good player, so he kind of had to. But I did used to sit next to him on the plane. And I remember I was like, I got him in a Snapchat one time, and I was like, yo, I'm sitting next to Saban. But he looks over at me, he's like, can you help me put this thing on airplane mode? And I'm just like, it's like the easiest feature on an iPhone to put the phone in airplane mode. But he would have the most unread text messages, didn't really know how to respond to them. So I think his wife helped him out with that. And now I think he's pretty hip to everything. So he does a pretty good job from what I hear nowadays. But I know he's not texting anybody. He might tell someone what to text, but he's definitely not sitting there texting.
It's pretty funny. That is really quite funny.
Yeah.
Tyus, I think we played this game last year. Who's the most famous person in your phone?
Most famous person in my phone.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. That's a good question.
I mean,
it might be Lamar.
I was gonna say, it's so funny you say that. I was thinking it almost has to be Lamar, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be Lamar.
Dang,
I mean, he's TMZ famous at this point, so I don't know that it.
Lamar not even famous. Lamar is just Lamar. Nah, he is famous.
I was about to say, you literally just told a story about him going to IHOP and how he had to leave 5 minutes later from the IHOP.
That was
he's very famous.
Was that Black Swan?
No, he said IHOP. He said he said it was an IHOP.
He got kicked out?
No, where you said something about he couldn't even enjoy his food because he was too busy.
Pictures. He's just such a nice guy. I mean, he wanted to. He's just so humble. It's kind of crazy, but one person wouldn't stop, and then he just was like, "Why don't everybody just line up?" Basically, and he just.
Oh wow!
I'm like, well, your food getting cold, but I'm gonna eat mine. But but the famous person, that's I
mean, it can't be Nick Saban. Like he has multiple championships.
Nick Saban. I never got the Nick Saban phone. Nick Saban is like this. You answer the phone. Hey, Nick wants to talk to you. I'm like,
he's like the president.
Oh, Nick, he don't play. The thing is, he does not waste any time. So he don't, even a couple rings waiting is wasted time to him.
Wow.
That's how it's just like, that's why I say like a robot. Like he's just so locked in, it's actually just crazy. So if Belichick's like that, I can see why he's had a lot of success, and so going into this week, that's what I was thinking about. We got to be locked in for sure.
You know anybody else who's like that? Do you have anybody else in your life? Tyus, you know anybody that if you call, you couldn't call them, they'd have to call you, and it's the president bit. It's the, hold please for.
No, not that I know of. I know for me personally, I don't really talk on the phone too much.
Fair.
Like for me, it's, all right, what do you need?
That's a generational thing too, right? Like, why are you calling me? Just send me a text.
Yeah,
right.
That's literally me. I'm like, you can literally just text me this.
Right.
But why are you calling me about this? And then I'm like, all right, bye.
Marlon, anybody else that you know that's like that?
No, nobody is. I mean, it's kind of like nobody's that necessarily famous. It's just you don't want to deal with calling somebody.
I get it,
but. Yeah, I don't have any. No, nobody is that. Nobody that I know is at that.
It's actually how Rita is with me. She has somebody else call and say, "Hold for Rita."
That's big time.
Oh, wow,
that's big time. I like it.
She really likes that.
You're an important lady. Yeah, you ain't got time to be calling.
Believe Glenn if you like. I call Glenn all the time. Like I'm a person that I don't like to text.
No, not at all.
I call Glenn on the phone.
Yeah, right. And she's bothering me. I'm like, Rita, it's fine. It's okay. You're allowed to call.
I'm trying to do better though. I'm trying to do better with calling people calling me, and being able to hold conversations and things like that. But I mean, I'll be having my days.
You hold conversations with everyone that comes out every two. This
is different though.
Because it's face to face, is that?
Yeah, I feel like I do so much more when I'm around people than I am talking on the phone, especially if we in the same area. Like you can come and see me, I can come and see you, and then we can talk and hang out. But for you to just call me, I'm like, you can just meet me somewhere. That's just me. That's just me. I don't know. That's just me.
Hey, we have a regular listener and attendee of the show who's not here tonight because his family's on vacation, but we've met him a bunch of times, little Jameson, who we saw at Guilford a couple weeks ago. And our friend, young Jameson, is battling CMT, which is a degenerative nerve disease that's fairly common, but his subtype, CMT4J, is extremely rare. And the first ever Baltimore Walk for CMT event, a walk, is happening in October. And we're going to ask you to try to donate to Team Jameson. We want to lift him up, the Tyus Bowser Show, because he's been the coolest little supporter of what we've been doing for over a year now. If you would reach out to his mother, Amber, it's at aireland1025@hotmail.com, or you can search just Baltimore Walk, the number 4, CMT. And then once you're on the page for the event, click Donate, register, then click Donate Now, and search for Team Jameson. I know that sounds complicated, but I am an idiot, and I figured it out today. So I promise you can do the same thing. We want to lift up little Jameson, who is such a cool kid. Before we wrap this up, Tyus, do you...
Wait. Are you still looking for the famous people in your phone?
Oh my God!
No, guys, I am.
He's over here scrolling through his phone now.
I'm disappointed that the most famous person I know is Lamar Jackson.
You're disappointed by
I'm just like. I'm like,
there's no way. You thought maybe you go through and you realize you had Drake's number or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, there's got to be somebody that is more famous than Lamar Jackson.
Especially if you did
it is Lamar Jackson,
and stuff. You've been around some crazy celebs. and never connected with him.
But I never like.
He was on the court with Justin Bieber.
Quavo is Quavo.
Wait, Justin Bieber?
Is Quavo more famous than Lamar?
Yeah.
Quavo's more famous.
I think so, yeah.
Quavo's very famous.
Okay. So, wait, do I have his actual number there? Or is that just... well. I don't know. It says bands and then Quavo. I don't think I would have saved it like that.
Yeah, I think that's
We're
him.
qualifying.
That might be him. All right, yep. Lamar's not famous. Quavo. I'm cool. All right, I'm good. Mission accomplished.
All right,
There we go.
I had this on my list, and before we wrap up, I got to ask. We saw a story on Instagram the other day. Do you have a hot tub on your own roof?
I got a hot tub. I had to block off the street. I had to get a permit to block the street off, to get a crane, to lift the hot tub onto my balcony.
Tyus, tell me that's not the most baller thing you've ever heard in your life.
That's very baller.
It was very baller, but it was very expensive. And I would not recommend, but it was worth it when I was kind of soaking up my tears in the hot tub yesterday. So
this is very Josh Rosen of you.
Oh, right.
Do you remember the story?
In his dorm.
When he was in UCLA, he put a hot tub in his dorm.
Okay, that's a little baller. That's a little baller.
Yeah.
It's the most insanely baller thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right before he got drafted, he put a hot tub in. There's pictures on the internet, too, of him in it.
It's even better. There was a girl who came to a game with a sign that said, like, "Hi, Josh," or something like that. The next day, you saw a picture of her sitting
in the tub.
in his hot tub.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's tough.
Yo. Yeah,
That's
right?
tough. That's big ball.
That's very Josh Rosen of you, except for this is like NFL grade level Josh Rosen of you.
And it's like outside, like more reasonable. He had it inside. That was cool, but kind of wild.
Right.
I have so many questions about how he did that. I hope it's
How are you even able to close off the entire street?
Yeah, I had to go through the city.
You literally went to the city to...
Yeah, they legit had to close off the street. And I actually wasn't there. If I would have been there, I would have been on IG Live probably. Like, yeah, just shut the street down. Don't mind me. So y'all are lucky I wasn't there. I forget where I was at, but whoever did it, they sent me a message about it. But yeah, I had to shut down the street.
I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, you go up to the city council and it's like, yeah, I'm trying to put a hot tub on my roof.
It's really important. Please approve.
I just want to know.
They helped me out a little, but luckily it was like a little side street. I thought we should get a helicopter and carry it from there, but I guess I feel like that would have been easier. Everyone had to shut down the street. Nobody's day would have been messed up. But yeah, I had to go to the city, get a crane, and yeah.
I really want to know if there's somebody who had to sit in traffic that day that now is figuring
Tyus,
out.
you have to go over there and let us know what the hot tub is like, the setup. And then you go on IG Live.
Yeah.
You pull a Marlon.
Yeah.
You go on IG Live, put the hot tub on, with him in the hot tub and just be like, this is the foolishness that shut down the city one day.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. 'Cause that's crazy. I didn't know.
Oh, man. All right, make some noise one more time for Marlon Humphrey. Marlon, is there anything we can plug for you, man? Anything you're doing that we can get a plug in for?
No, man.
No more podcasts?
Studio 40. All right, guys. It was easy to get guys during the off season, but this season challenge has been a little rough. So everyone, once the season gets going, I'll be back on Studio 44. That's good stuff. But we've had a lot of weeks off. But Studio 44.
I'm still waiting on my invite.
Yeah, that's weird.
I've been waiting to get the injured guys until they're back so we can be in better spirit. Okay. So that's my problem too. Marcus Peters has given me a lot of no's, and he kind of got mad the last time I asked, so I think I'm gonna stop asking him. But JK and Gus and Tabo, and there's a lot of great guests coming. Then I was gonna get Chuck.
Okay.
But then, there's a little off-season drama. So he was like, wait till the season starts. I was like, understand. So
he's still here, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of good guests coming soon. The Ravens obviously post it when it comes, but some good guests. And if there's any people that I need to get in the city, like I want to get some non-football guys too, important people in the city. So
maybe you can get Adnan.
If you got any suggestions, let me know.
If you landed the first interview with Adnan after he got released from jail, holy.
Oh man, do you know anything about that?
Wait,
we'll put you up to speed about it.
I don't even know.
Yeah, we'll put you up to speed about it.
This week.
We'll talk to you about it. But that would be actually like really cool.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
We'll tell you what happened.
Have you heard of the
We'll tell you a story later. I'll tell you the story.
I swear we'll cue you.
Because honestly, I don't know if Marlon was born when that happened.
No.
Who are we talking about?
It's a Baltimore guy that got locked up in 1999 for killing a girl, and then he just got freed because
there was a whole podcast called Serial.
Literally, the Serial
popular.
podcast started the whole podcast phenomenon. That's how podcasts really began, because of the Serial podcast. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
So he got freed yesterday.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, he got freed yesterday. It's been a big thing.
Overturned. Yes,
excuse
correct.
me.
Yes,
overturned. It got overturned.
So we're going to work on that. We're going to work on getting Adnan on Studio 44.
Okay.
That
Absolutely.
would be a different type of guest.
Okay, cool.
That'll definitely get you some.
Yeah, because you gotta ask the questions. Like you really gotta ask the hard questions.
Yeah, this will be a good test. For me. I need to update. I need to study on the thing here. I don't know what happened.
Probably won't be talking about the hot tub on the roof.
No.
Yeah, probably won't be doing that.
Tyus, as always, you are the best, my friend. Love you, dude.
Love you too.
Tyus, I told him he has to wear his dunks at every show now. Huh? He has to. Tyus bought Glenn some dunks. He has to wear them at every show. That's when he can wear them. During the shows.
Done.
So he'll be wearing his dunks during the show.
Next show, 2 weeks from tonight, when we tape this. Of course, if you're listening on 105.7 The Fan, it was 2 weeks from this past Tuesday night. We will be at Guilford Hall Brewery, October 4th, in Station North, where we were for the first show, which is an awesome place. Looking forward to being back there.
Hey, man, hey. No more glizzies, man.
Oh, man.
No more glizzies. No more glizzies, bro.
You gotta eat the glizzies in the sky.
I'm just trying to live. Can a man just live?
This man had 3 glizzies and was just going in on them. I said, no more.
They were delicious.
Right here, sitting right here next to you.
Sitting right here.
Sitting right at the corner.
You gotta like turn around and just take a bite like that. And did he dress him up?
He got dressing up.
Yeah.
He dressed up the glizzy.
Hey, when I'm in private, I dress up the glizzy crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but in public, I can't just be having a dressed up glizzy.
He was proud of it.
Well, this was a fun show. I had a great time. Thanks, Ed. Hey, serious thank you to everybody at Pressbox, Grade 8's Memorabilia. Next Tuesday night, Jordan Stout, new Ravens punter, will be at Wise Markets in Perry Hall again, raising money for the fight against children's cancer. Grade8smemorabilia.com in order to find out more. Thanks to Maryland Vascular Specialist. Thanks to the all-new Ginsu Kamado Grill. Tyus, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Rita, thanks to you, my friend. We will see you on Sunday for the Baltimore Game Day Uncensored postgame show. This has been the Tyus Bowser Show on 105.7 The Fan.